J Drone here. Got a 95 four-door Grand Prix. And what we're trying to do is, and bam, there's a 96. We're trying to gain access to this because I do not like, I mean, this is clear, despite the fact slight yellowing look just because of the way it's sitting. These are really clear, and when the bulbs that are in here light up, it gives off a yellowing. Down below, I already have a white LED that shines down on the ground. We want these white. So the first thing you have to do is boom, boom, boom. You know, maybe one there. This one, you don't have to take this one off. This one will just flap up like that. Okay? And that one we have up there. But then you have to, I believe, take that off. And then let's see if I can show you from up top. There's going to be boom. There's going to be a couple other ones that hold these that we're going to have to take off. Then this should just slide off. Then we can pop the bulbs out. Then probably run an LED on the inside. So there is two on each side. This last one, if you can see, I actually had to shove a little bit of like thin slices of wood in there just because how stripped it was. Nothing I had would grab onto it. You could see the bare metal on it. But that having, and I can show you what's in there, having two pieces of that in there allowed it to actually grab and get out. Now the only other one is the center one, which is right behind my finger. That's what you're looking for, these little nubs. Everywhere you see these nubs. But this one, there's not much room in between here and there. So that's going to be a pain in the butt. Just to show you what I found that's working, I have my socket on there, and you just pull off, and quarter turn at a time. See if I could do this with one hand. Maybe not. I might not be able to set it. There, you set it, and over. This does have to have some depth to it. A standard one like up there will not work just because of how far that sticks out. So with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the center one out, it's kind of off center. This will just pull right out. Now we're going to be able to just disconnect these bulbs, and we might even remove the bulbs from them because again, what we would like to do, we would like to run LEDs on the inside, much like the ones that we have underneath. So these are the lights I used. I got them at Five Below, super cheap. The underglow is not these. These are what I was going to originally run inside of them, but they're blue. The underglow was these, which clearly one's blue, one's white. But in the store, I just seen white, and I'm like, oh yeah, because I was just gonna. But this is gonna be so much cooler. We have a remote controller to control the colors. Can't wait till nighttime. So before install, I would suggest getting those bulbs out, which we have. We've taken the bulbs out. Then I would suggest capping each one. You can see masking tape capped over just to tightly wrap them. That way no condensation or water can get in them, because when you turn on your headlights, these are going to come on unless I decide I want to just disconnect the whole thing for safety, which I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably just going to disconnect the whole thing, and then maybe I'll just take the whole thing out. There's no reason for that to be sitting in there. That might be what we do, and then I'll just cap that off. So that's exactly what we did. As you can see, this is your light. That would be what you would have just unplugged. That would have been your end light, and you could just put that somewhere. We'll put that somewhere. We'll hang it up. If we ever want to reinstall it, we have it. As far as the wire itself goes, boom, it's right there. And again, let me show you this, dude. I've been doing this since high school. If you have wires that you have to splice, twist them tight. You can cap them with a cigarette butt and thread them on, and then you can go over tape it. I think it does a little bit better protection, but maybe it holds some water. I don't know. Good or bad idea? Leave down below. Let me know what you think. Super clean install, guys. You can't even tell. You can't even tell. So the only thing that you need to be mindful is with these. If you have a infrared eye that you are going to need to hit with this, I strongly recommend going above, because unlike this, where there's like next to no gap here, This, because the light's set up, it leaves a marginal gap, which is going to be perfect to walk by. Boop, turn on, turn off, whatever, select colors. I think that's going to work out perfect. Looking good, almost ready to run power. So, again, ooh, look at this little guy. What is that? Anybody, if you know what this little bug is, dude, let me know. I've never seen one in my life before, and I've lived in this area forever. I'm like baffled by this weird thing that has like why would it have that imprint on its back? This thing is weird. Looks like it's almost under a shell or something. Let's try to get low on it. It's weird. But anyway, so you have, let's see, where you have 2, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. This is the one that I consider in the middle, as that guy's getting closer to me. This one, hand tighten. Don't be, otherwise you're gonna have to mess with this. If you torque this down, you're gonna have a heck of a time getting this off if you ever have to. This one, and the one down there next to my finger to the left, and this one, I would just give a snug torque. I wouldn't even get a torque. I'd just do this. Lightly tighten it. It's not going to go anywhere. And if you over tighten these are plastic, they will crack. All right, if you could see, we're just going to do a little range test. We're going to go ahead and shut it off, on, and if you look down below, we do also have lights that are casting down. Let's see, where, bam, right underneath there. They're actually up, shining down at night. They kind of light up the whole front of the car. So we can run like that. We can run all white, or, and again, this is kind of a range test, we could go ahead and put some blues on. I'll put a red on. The green though, the green with the car, whoo, that bright green with the car, that is phenomenal. Even the camera's having a hard time picking it up. We'll get closer. It's kind of like an aqua color. It's, dude, the camera can't, it's not flashing right now, but on the camera it looks like it's flashing. I'll try to go a darker green there. That one's stable, but it wasn't flashing on the camera. It looked like it. This is gonna be awesome. Now I'm almost regretting that I threw all whites underneath there. I don't know. Those whites on the bottom might be coming down, and a set like this that I can control with one controller for everything might have to go down. I don't know. But what was most important was to be able to run, again, all white. We want clean white in the front, and that's going to cast a clean white light in the front, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be legal to drive with. And then the bulbs, we're going to have to get crispy white ones. I've done it to that Impala before, where I've thrown crispy white bulbs in there, and they were bright white, not HIDs, just a bulb replacement. And then the corners are going to need something in them as well. But it's looking good, and I'm loving it. Alright guys, that is the final result. It is kind of nighttime. I am in a parking lot where it's lit, so you can imagine if it was completely dark how bright that would be. I think it looks awesome. It's a little bit silly with it blinking back and forth, but if we go ahead and just bam, throw on whites, dude, once we get that whole front end that color white, it's going to look ridiculous. But right now, we'll go ahead and turn on the headlights just to show you what I'm dealing with and why we have to turn it to white, because that just does not look good in my opinion. I mean, we got white down below, we got white up top, and we got yellows. And again, this is all controller. We can go ahead and throw it into a fade or constantly fades. We can do the blinky thing. We can go all red. The red's nice, matches the interior. Ideally, maybe would end up changing the bottom. That way I can change both top and bottom. Or when I'm driving, bam, I could just shut that off. We got our yellows up top and we got a light bar down bottom. Or we could run, why ain't it working? Let's see, I messed it up. What's going on? Oh, maybe I clicked off. That's why it wouldn't turn on. Gotta click on and we'll have to click off. We could run it like that, and that's not bad, but again, I want it to be boom all the way across. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Hopefully this video helps somebody. Questions, comments, concerns, put it down below.